So for years, I failed at content, and I've spent literally thousands of hours and thousands of dollars to finally come up with something very simple, but it's going to allow your content to actually make money, and it's going to allow you to move people from strangers to new paying members with you. So I did a post here in my free community. I have this community over at skool.com/make-once-free. You can join. It's free. It's up to you. But inside of the community, I did this post that Aiden here said, "Mike, this is pure gold. Thanks. I need to stick it on my wall in front of me." So just to give you an idea, but I broke down these 3 stages and what you're going to be doing in here, but I'm going to help you with it here real quick. Whenever you go to create content, you might be creating content right now and it's not converting people into customers. What you want to do is, before you create any piece of content, you have to understand, and this is not just a good idea, a good theory, or some hack. This is like, you know how a car needs wheels to drive down the road? Well, your content needs to have this integrated into it, or it's not going to convert. And you're just wasting time, wasting money. You're getting emotional about this thing that doesn't need to get emotional about. You just need to focus and you need to understand what I'm sharing with you. Please take this to heart. It will fix your problems. So whenever you go to create a piece of content, understand that you have to move people from the red to the green to the blue. Or in other words, people go from being unaware to becoming aware to deciding what's the best option. So those are the 3 phases. They become aware that they have a problem. They're experiencing the pain and the symptoms of a problem, but they're not quite sure what the problem is. So what you have to do is you have to create content that gets them to become aware. You're wanting to help them with content that's, hey, did you know that you're working at a job all these hours and you're getting paid very little? But did you know that you could actually work those same hours and make more than you do at your job, but you could be working at home for yourself online, helping people with your advice? That would be like content I would do at that level. The next level is like how to, because I might have put that video out and then they watch that and they go, wait a minute, what? And so they go, wait, I'm not getting paid what I should be getting paid. I could be getting paid more, having more fun doing what I'm talking about. So then I would create a piece of content kind of like this one, where it's more how to, right? So now it's like, now we're in this space. I moved them from the stranger up here to now they're like, well, yeah, but how do I do that? Does this actually work? So then they start looking for that type of content. Okay, so they're considering like their options. Is this something I can do? Is this something that could actually work for me? When you go about it like this, now you're creating content for that phase. A bunch of how-to stuff. You're just showing them, you're breaking it down, like possibilities. And remember, whenever you're creating content, 9 pieces out of the 10 pieces of content that you would create, or 90% of the content, you need to always be helping them see it. They can't see it. They can't see the value. Not because they can't, but because they're just not thinking like that. You have to help them think like that. So you're always painting the picture, we call it, or you're casting the vision, or you're not talking about the plane ride, you're talking about the destination. Because if people can't see where they're going, then they don't get excited about going there. And just like when it's foggy out, you drive real slow and cautious and you can't really get anywhere. But if it's clear and it's, the vision is painted and they can see what's in it for me, or they can see the benefit of doing this thing, or they can understand like, wow, this is what I can actually do now because I'm doing this, they'll do whatever it takes to get to the next spot. But you have to understand, people are moving from the red square to the green square to the blue square. Or in other words, think about it like this. You can't just get the apple. You have to have the trunk first, then the branches, then the leaves, then the apple shows up. You can't do it in reverse. So just like this, if you're just putting content out there at random, guess what? People are not going to understand and put 2 and 2 together. You want to rotate the topics. Now what you're watching here is this. I'm actually creating all the slides for my new program, Make Once Pro. It's our new launch for that. I just wanted to give you a little sneak peek of that, build in public with you, if you will. But it's really cool. There's like some really awesome stuff coming your way. You're going to love it. But I wanted to share this with you because it's so important. So what are we going to do with this? How do we actually use this information, and what's the benefit? Every time you go to create a piece of content, just like I wrote in this free post that you can see, every time you go to create a piece of content, you're going to ask yourself, what stage am I paying attention to with this content? The content that I'm creating, what stage am I trying to communicate to? Because people are in one of those 3 stages. You cannot not say that they aren't, or it's like, this isn't negotiable. You're basically saying, is this content to help somebody that's unaware to become aware of their problem? and help them see a better way? Like, did you know this? Did you know you're dealing with this? Did you know that that pain and that symptom you're dealing with is because of this? So there's content like that. So you're rotating these topics, right? When I go to create content each week, I'm creating content for the did you know square, for the how to square, and for the demonstrate square. Because the very blue one down there at the bottom, here they're in a place where I know I've got this problem. I know that I want to solve it. I see that people can actually solve it. And now I'm like, which one do I go with? I'm sure there's a lot of people that could help me, but how do I decide on which one? So in the blue square, I'm creating content where I'm sharing success stories. I'm demonstrating what my product can actually do. I'm sharing like everything that goes with what we do to show them how I can actually help them so they can make the decision to go with me. I'm doing promotional offers. I'm letting them in on 50. Like right now, I've got this thing running till the end of March where you can get in 50% off lifetime access to this new program I'm doing. Those are things where I take people and pull them out of the green square into the blue square. And then from the blue square, they're paying me. Okay. So it goes red square. I'm doing content. Did you know? Did you realize? Are you aware of? Okay. So I'm creating content like that. It doesn't matter if it's long form, short form, doesn't matter. I'm then moving them now into the green. And when they watch the red content, the green content is like, let me show you how this works. Here's some lists of this, step by step how to do that. And if you want to know more, guess what? I've got this other video, and that's when you pull them from the green to the blue and you're demonstrating what your product can actually do. And you're just asking them, hey, if you want more help, go over and grab my Make Once Pro program or whatever yours is, right? Down in the description of this or whatever, you can find links, but it's really important you go grab this free post right here. I got it actually pinned up here, but the name of the post is Can't Get Customers with Content Going Live. So you could just come up here to the search bar once you become a member. Again, it's free. And then we also, inside of the calendar here, we have a live workshop every single day inside of here. So every time you create content, please understand that you have to pay attention to what stage you're talking to. You don't just create random tidbits of stuff. You don't just pick random titles. You have to pull people through this customer journey. Say, okay, I'm not just creating some random ass piece of content. Am I trying to get somebody from red to green? Am I trying to get somebody from green to blue? Am I trying to get somebody from blue to paying me? You have to ask that question first. Then you can find topics and headlines that you're going to create. Always, whenever you're creating content, you've got to paint the picture. Think about it like this. When you create something, always think that the customer is probably saying, okay, yeah, well, because of what you just told me, what can I do now? Now what can I do? You have to paint the picture, because what happens when you figure this out? You create content that has power. You create content that when you create it, it moves people from red to green to blue, and you start making sales. You can go out each day and I'm creating a piece of content to move them from red to green. I'm creating a piece of content to move them from green to blue. I'm helping them see what it is. I'm rotating through topics. I'm building a library of red, green, and blue content. And this is when people start signing up with you and you go, wow, all this time I was told to create content and I had no idea what I was doing. And now all of a sudden I can create content and I can pay my bills. I can tell my boss, see you later. And I can actually build something that supports my family. I get to have a good time. And that's the whole reason I did this. Every fight I ever got in my life was over money. I drank, or I did drugs, or I tried to numb my brain, or I got into arguments with people that I loved that we didn't want to even argue. Nothing like that. And it was all because of money. And I was like, man, if we solve the money thing, all this other crap goes away. So that's why I wanted to make money. That's why I wanted to use the internet so I could live anywhere. I didn't want to be stuck somewhere. I wanted to be able to make money from anywhere. And I wanted to actually feel good about the money I was making, helping people make money, helping people stop arguing with their significant others, helping people stop, numbing themselves with chemicals because they're trying to deal with the stress of not having the money. And it's just more fun. Life's better with money. And if people tell you it's not, then they just probably don't have any. So if you want to learn more, go down the description. I've got some stuff for you, or just Google Make Once. But please start using this, because your content is going to matter. You're going to make more money. You're going to have more fun, and things will start to actually work.